Hello and welcome to this live interaction with me, Ashish Parekh. Now, everyone is growing conscious about their diet, about the food they intake, and one of the latest trends, as per a lot of people these days, is veganism. Now, on World Veganism Day, let's just burst a few myths that surround this particular practice that has been gaining popularity across the world over the past few years. Now, World Vegan Day, observed annually on 1st November, is perhaps the most fitting day of all to in fact highlight some of the most commonly held notions about the diet, as well as paint a clearer picture as to what veganism actually entails. Now, myth number one, a lot of people talk about this: veganism and vegetarianism are basically the same. Now, one of the most common misunderstandings surrounding veganism is that it is considered similar to vegetarianism. Now, the only common factor between the two is shared avoidance of meat products. Both vegans and vegetarians do not consume meat. However, the similarity ends just there. To be vegan, you have to avoid animal-based products including dairy like milk, cheese, ghee, butter, and also products like honey. So that's where the similarity ends. That is veganism. But vegetarianism, you can have all of those products. Myth number two, vegans only eat organic produce. Now, this is something that a lot of people talk over social media. Eating only organic is certainly not a requirement to be vegan, and to eat organic fruits and vegetables is entirely a preference, which does not matter whether you're vegan or vegetarian. In fact, many vegans consume traditionally grown fruits and vegetables as well as part of their diet to keep themselves healthy. Also, myth number three is that the Indian diet is definitely not suited to veganism. Now, Indian diet, while we talk about Indian diet, it is perhaps even more suited to veganism than most other diets across the world. Most of the foods that we have do not really require dairy products, and most of the items that you make, most of the dishes that you make completely help you comply with veganism. The next myth a lot of people talk about is that veganism can lead to poorer nutrition. Now, a common misconception, of course, around the diet is that pursuing it leads to overall poorer nutrition. This, of course, is only true if one doesn't research enough before committing to a diet change like veganism. We're talking about veganism or vegetarianism or any sort of a diet. Diet change is, of course, often a significant decision that warrants at least some research about the diet in question. And in the case of veganism, once all animal products are left out of your diet, there is the possibility of reduced consumption of protein, iodine, calcium, vitamin B12, vitamin D, and omega-3 fatty acids. And each of these nutrients has a viable alternative. So it's not like you're missing out on something. There is always an alternative that you can make sure that your body meets its requirements through that alternative. Myth number 5 is that vegan food alternatives are hard to find and expensive. Now, this is something a lot of people talk about and keeps a lot of people away from veganism, is the fact that most of the products that you see on advertisements, on billboards, are expensive. Yes, they are proper alternatives to to your regular diet and to make sure that you comply with veganism. But having said that, they are not the other alternatives. There are a lot of dishes that you can make at your home while making sure that your body meets the requirements while you comply with veganism. To explain to us more about this particular diet and what veganism is, I've got our expert for the day, Uma Trasi, who is a senior dietitian at Manipal Hospitals. First of all, thanks a lot, ma'am, for joining us on this live interaction. What exactly is veganism all about, and what do you make of all of these myths that surround this particular practice?
Hello, everybody. So, vegan diet was first introduced in 1944, I would say, by Donald Watson. And vegan diet is devoid of all animal products, including meat, eggs, and dairy. It contains fruits, vegetables, legumes, lentils, nuts, and seeds. It also contains cereals, soy milk, almond milk, and it also contains quinoa, flax seeds, hemp seeds, avocado. So there is a lot of variety in it.
Absolutely. Now, one of the main myths that even I have heard personally a lot is that on one hand, you say being a vegetarian is something that would make your nutrition even more, even less adequate. That would make your nutrition even poorer. But in that also, in case you are a vegan, that would mean that you are compromising on a lot of things that your body requires on a daily basis. So is that true, or is that something that can be filled, the void can be filled using some other alternatives?
See, one thing is these days, with the type of lifestyle that we follow, we find that vegan diet would definitely help. And we find that vegan diet may lower risk of heart diseases, high cholesterol, high blood pressure. And it may also be beneficial to some kinds of cancer, like colon cancer and breast and ovarian cancer in women. And it lowers your BMI too. And why is that so? Because when we eat a vegan diet, we are eating a good amount of fiber, which helps you to have a full stomach, and you may not, go on to eat any of the fast foods, which actually increase your weight and which leads to these other metabolic disorders.
Absolutely. Also, is there any side effect, or are there any particular categories of people that need to avoid vegan diet in particular?
Actually, what one should remember is there could be B12 deficiency, and when you avoid milk and the meat and all that. But that can always be met through fortified soy milk, tofu, almonds. Your omega-3 can be met through flax seeds and kimchi. And there is also nutritional yeast, which is a good source of B12.
Yeah. Also, we spoke about all of these general myths that surround veganism. In your experience as a practitioner, what are the general myths that people have around veganism, and what is that one thing that usually keeps people away from it?
People generally feel that they may not get a good amount of protein. So do we get protein? That is the question. But one has to remember that by eating a good amount of legumes, lentils, nuts and seeds, we definitely can meet the protein requirement. Okay.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot, ma'am, for joining us on this live interaction. That was Uma Trasi, Senior Dietitian at Manipal Hospitals, clearly talking to us about veganism, how it is practiced, how it started, and what are the alternatives that you can possibly choose to make sure that in case you are one of those people who believes that veganism leads to poor nutrition, how you can make up for that deficiency of nutrients in your body. Do let us know what you guys think in the comment section below, and also do not forget to like, share and subscribe to News9 Digital. Thanks a lot for watching.